Hello and welcome to Flash from the Justice League, the DCEU movies. And I'll just say that Mafex did release their version of the Flash as well, and that one does come with an extra head without the mask. It looks kind of like the actor, but the skin tone is still quite plasticky. And of course Mafex is bigger than SH Figuarts by something like half a head or a head. So, which is a problem because I will say that the Mafex Flash is quite nice, the Batman is better than the SH Figuarts, but their Wonder Woman is utter trash, and Superman's also eh. The Bandai Superman does look like it's going to be really good, which is a huge problem for collectors like me because I don't want figures to be in different scales, so I can't be like, oh, I'll pick up the Mafex Batman, but then stick with the SH Figuarts, Wonder Woman or Aquaman or whatever. So that's quite annoying, but overall I'm still sticking with SH Figuarts because that's what I'm into. That's what I've been buying, all the Kamen Riders and stuff. So if you're only collecting DC stuff, Mafex has a lot of good DC figures, but common problems are the plasticky skin and of course the weak joints where they can snap quite easily. Take that information as you will. And a lot of the times Mafex seem to be more expensive than Figuarts, which is weird because I really don't think they should be. But depending on which figure release, the prices do drop down quite quickly. For example, that Wonder Woman, because of how bad it is, yeah, the prices went down for that very quickly. Superman should be out very soon, so I'll be reviewing that as well. So on to the Flash figure. Here he is. These whatever face we can see does look quite like him. The mask is done quite well. And because this is a Township Work exclusive, you're gonna have to really count on your luck to see if you have a good face print or not. Yes, despite being mostly covered up by the mask, the face is still printed on, so there can be print issues if you're very unlucky. But so far I have not seen that many people complaining about their Flash figures. On to the side, the mask is printed very nicely, the gold's very good, the gradients and dirts on the black are very nice as well, and the back details are good. Moving down to the torso, the Golden Flash logo is printed quite nicely on mine, and so are these silver stripes all over the place. The molded details are also pretty good as well. You got those as little bumpy suit patterns. The lines are actually molded upwards, so that's great. However, the silver on the logo is printed not too well. The marks missing all over the place, so I'll probably have to touch that up myself with a bit of silver paint. The arm details are also quite nice as well, same as the torso, and the overall print job isn't too bad, honestly. When you see all these little silver line details all over the suit, they're done quite precisely, so that's great. Over to the back, the quality continues. Down the hip, the golden belt lining is quite good, and just a few hairline marks and scratches here and there with the painted details. Right down to the shoes and the boots. The consistent quality is quite good with this figure. I need to quick look at the bottom of the shoes. There's no patterns here whatsoever, which I think that's not right. I'm pretty sure you should have something down there. The accessory count is unfortunately pretty bad. Apart from the fists already attached to the figure, we have relaxed hands and sort of the straight flat palm hands to do when he's running, and that's it. No special effects, no nothing, even though there's plenty of room in the box for those pieces to be in there. Just something to be in here. But no, we've got nothing here. We'd only have item holding hands or the hand for him to be like, oh, I caught a batarang. I know I wasn't in the suit at that time, but come on, give me something in this box. Articulation wise, for a suit of this design, you'd think it'd be quite easy to get all these movements and poses out. But before we even get into that, they did not put an upper arm joint in here, even though they could have easily hidden it underneath this piece here. I get it, they want this to be all like tight and stuff all over the figure, but why can't you just make this an extra piece? Why is this like this? I can still rotate the arm just a little bit. I can move his arm forward just a little bit because of this extra joint. But come on, guys. Anyway, head can look down quite a little bit, look up a little bit, and sideways. Honestly, not too much. This figure is surprisingly restrictive for the type of suit that he's wearing. Arm can go up a little bit because there's no joint. Full rotation here, and like I said, just a little bit of articulation there. Double elbow joint, and hand is on a peg and swivel. Torso can go back, forward. He can't do sit-ups. Sideways. Whoa, that breaks the line of the figure. Legs up, back, sideways. double knee joint, foot can go up, back, toe, yep, alright. Can he do the signature pose, running startup pose in the movie? Kinda. Overall, I don't know. There's a lot to like with this figure here, and there's also a lot to hate. The overall molding in terms of the details are excellent. The suit design, the suit mesh pattern, the silver like wires and linings all over the suit, the helmet sculpt, neck sculpt, all of it is really excellent. The paint job for the most part is okay. There's a few hairline mistakes here and there, but unless you look really closely, it's not too noticeable and it's all fixable. Like those silver lines, sometimes silver goes a little bit off, the logo issue I mentioned earlier, but none of that is too obvious when you pick up the figure. However, the articulation is just really disappointing for a figure of this shape. They should have gone with the newer joint system of the real bone figures, but I get what they were going for because of the suit design. They wanted to, you know, showcase the suits a lot more, and instead of having more articulation. I get it, but this is Nessish Figuarts. I expect articulation with this figure, and if you're gonna focus on the suit, then I should get a statue. But no, this is a Figuarts. I want it to move, I want it to pose, so I want to have more fun and play with this figure, but I can't. It's severely limited. Despite the shape of the figure, there's no weird armor pieces or any joints that get in the way. This should be a figure that can have a lot of different poses, and yet it's very limiting. And finally, the face job is pretty decent, and the face job is pretty decent as well. Another negative of this figure is a lack of accessories. Seriously, just 4 pairs of extra hands? What the hell, Bandai? This is a Tamashii Work exclusive, and it is for that reason a little bit more expensive than the regular Figuarts or licensed Figuarts. So the price you're paying for this figure is definitely very lacking. So if you're not too bothered about scare and stuff and you just want a decent enough figure from the Flash in the movie, then pick up the Mafex version. It's slightly cheaper than this, you get a little bit more accessories, and the articulation seems to be a little bit better. Once again, mind you that Mafex have weak joints, but if you be careful with those figures, you should be fine. As for what we have here, if you're already in the SS Figuarts DC line of figures, then you probably still want to pick this up, otherwise give it a pass. At the end of the day, this figure is just as awkward as his character was in the movie. Question, can we get a good Grant Gustin 112 Figuarts now? That'd be great. Instructions are quite easy to follow, and there's also English on it, but the instructions are quite easy to follow because there's no accessories in it, it's only hand swapping for God's sake, but there is English in here for the foreign market.